All right.
Anyway, yeah,
Ready?
we're good now. Let's go.
3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody back to the Built Different podcast. This is episode 15 of Off the Backboard. I got V-Man to the right. I got Matt, Big Matt, pause on the bottom, pause. Whole lot of pause. Heart pause. Matt's just a big old pause today. But we have a lot to talk about, so we're going to dig deep. We're going to dig right in. I don't know why I said dig deep, but we're going to dig right in. And we're going to start with Ja Morant.
Jesus Christ.
Bro.
It's a fitting start, man. We've been
Bro.
talking about him all year, whether it's been MVP or he wants to go back to the hood or he wants to go to the hood for the first time, whatever he's trying to do.
Yeah, the way he's
What are your
acting is
guys'
definitely the
immediate
first
thoughts?
time. It's definitely the first time. It's 100% the first time. This nigga went one time and fell in love. Like, I don't get it, bro. I really don't get it. I really don't.
Can I just name off this motherfucker's incidences over the last year, bro?
Jesus
This is
Christ.
about to be a list.
Bro. First incident. His mom's is at finish line. Gets into it with an employee. She thinks he's not treating her as employer or employee should. And instead of, like any mom in America would, call the manager, file a complaint.
Any mom would.
Called Ja, a $200 million man, just got a contract.
That should
You
be
go
giving you
home,
money to
Ja.
not
Right.
work anyway.
What
Right.
kind of what problem could you possibly be having in finish line? Like,
Bro, so she calls Ja. He pulls up with 8 dudes. The dude runs in the back of the store, hides, locks the door, and Ja's sitting there pounding on the door with his goons and saying, I'm going to fuck you up. You better come out here. He's there for like 40 minutes.
Imagine if he didn't do that and they actually got to him. Ja Morant's career would be fucked.
yeah.
Gone. He would have, bro. The
Oh my
lawsuits
God.
would have been
Through the
crazy.
roof.
The league would have dropped him. And so that happened.
finish
He
line
goes
would have
to
had
leave.
their own NBA team by the end of that.
Oh yeah, on his ass. Yeah, 100%. And so they go to leave. Mall security follows them, saying they're not allowed back. They get into it. One of Ja's guys, Devante Pack, that's one of his go-to guys. That's one
Devante
of his best
Pack
friends.
is
Niggas
crazy.
just knowing
One
these
of his
dudes'
best
names now.
friends.
Like, that's how important this guy.
And this guy is important. But so he pushes one of the security guards. They get into it. Ja says, "I'm gonna find out when you get off, and I'm coming back." And so he threatens the security. They file charges saying they got threatened. Boom. That's incident 1. Incident 2, the one where he beat up the 17-year-old kid with Devante Pack
Like,
outside of his
Pack.
crib. Bro, this dude is important.
yeah, this guy's
So
just
that happens.
the evil angel on Josh's shoulder.
100%. So they're playing pickup ball. Words are exchanged like in any pickup game. They're talking shit. Eventually, Ja.
What is
gets
Ja
dinged.
Morant? What is he doing playing pickup basketball to be?
That's it, bro. What is he
With
doing?
a 17-year-old, bro, at that.
Dude woke up. I got next.
So him and Devante Pack start beating this kid up. The dude starts talking more shit. Son flashes a gun out on him. And then it's just like, all right, so dude's suing him.
Dude's a professional gun flasher.
Then,
Right.
Oh my God. Then Ja's sister is playing volleyball at her school, like a school event. And a couple teen girls in the stands are talking shit to her sister. So what does Ja's mom do? Call up Ja. So Ja and his boys pull up. Security
Devante
doesn't let
Pack?
them get up top. My son Devante Pack.
Yeah, that guy's dangerous. I ain't gonna lie. He might be a little bit. Yeah, he might be the
He
actual
gets
problem.
past- That's what I'm saying. He gets past security, gets to the girl, takes her phone, smashes it. Boom. Then, at a Pacers game earlier this season, Devante Pack is sitting courtside, gets into it with a couple Pacers player, goes onto the court to press the Pacers player, gets escorted out the arena, gets banned from the all NBA arenas.
And guess who's
Then
there
after
flashing
the
his
game,
gun?
Ja gets into his car. They go by the Pacers bus, start flashing something, and red dots start going on the players and the staff members of the Pacers.
Like, bro,
And they all panic. the Pacers security says they were guns, but it was never confirmed. And
bro, they
then
know damn
the
well
last,
that was a gun. They know that was a gun.
right,
They knew
right.
what it was.
And so, other than this current incident, then the last incident was the everyone knows the strip club in Denver. Whether Ja was flashing a gun, whether he brought it on the team plane or not, that was never confirmed. And then obviously this current incident in Devante Pack's car. Devante Pack, for some reason, everyone knows Devante Pack is this man's best friend.
Yo, we're gonna call this the Devante Pack episode.
So why does Devante need to show everyone on his Instagram Live that, oh, I got Ja with me, and he's flashing a gun out, bro? He needs to be dropped as that dude's friend, bro. He's one of those dudes who just doesn't matter how much you help him, he's always gonna drag you down. And don't
forget, through all this, keeping it basketball related now, Ja Morant said he'd be the MVP. The Grizzlies were going to win the championship. Then he was fine in the West, halfway through the year or whatever. Came back from suspension, was talking shit again, showboating against the Lakers, and we all saw. It was just a really bad year for Ja Morant, but he seems fine. He's still flashing guns on Instagram Live. That's the most recent thing, and now he's probably facing a suspension for more than half the fucking year.
You know Chandler Parsons, who is
fuck Chandler Parsons
he has some role in the Grizzlies organization. I don't remember what he is. He has some role in the Grizzlies.
He's the mascot.
Yo, fun fact, I actually used to like Chandler Parsons.
Yeah, me too.
When he was with the Rockets, that was my man. I ain't gonna front.
You know when he was with the Rockets, he was making he had the smallest NBA contract in the league. I think he was per year he was making $667,000, and everyone else was over $1 million.
Yeah.
But Chandler Parsons, I think he is part of the Grizzlies organization at this point because he is retired. He says he wants Ja suspended for a whole year.
I mean, at
he's
this
part
point,
of the Grizzlies.
Bro, this is the thing that I think I alluded to this earlier on Facebook. I'm just like, the only other comparison that we have to something like this is what happened with Gilbert Arenas. That happened with him, and it was all over for him. That was it. That was literally it. Now, I understand he brought the gun in the locker room, whatever. But it's the same premise. Again, like you just said, this guy obviously had it at the arena if he's pointing it at the opposing team. Gilbert Arenas didn't point it at nobody. He didn't point it at nobody, bro. This guy's flashing it at 17-year-old kids, at the opposing players, at the security guards at the venues. Nigga, like, come on, bro. Like,
bro. And the thing is, to me, I mean, given we don't know 100% this man's background, but from what we've seen, he looks like he's from a middle class family. So, bro, like you already start your life here. You make it to here. Why the fuck do you want to go to here? Like, it makes no sense. Bro. Why are you acting like you're from the gutter, bro? It's just like, it doesn't make any sense.
This was another point that I made earlier, was that it's cool to be in the trenches when you don't have to be there. It's cool to carry a gun when you absolutely don't need it.
Right.
Absolutely.
100%.
Like, 100%. That's the only time it's fun to do something like that, is when it's not necessary.
When you have to go through that struggle, it ain't fun.
Like, bro, the lifestyle he's trying to live, the dudes that actually live that lifestyle don't want to live that lifestyle.
Yeah. And, bro, like, I mean, given this comparison is really like apples to oranges, but, bro, we've seen somebody from the trenches in Jay-Z, from the trenches, was a fucking known drug dealer, was doing this, that, was making moves in New York, got the chance, got the opportunity, literally said, fuck the street life, dropped it, and became a fucking mogul. Hired security to where he didn't have to bring his own gun around.
Right.
Did this, that, and the third. Surrounded himself with the people that he knew was going to help him rather than drag him down. Yeah. And Ja's just like, nah.
The piece that's missing for me here is, like, there's some people that say, like, what's the big deal? I mean, this dude is the guy that the NBA is literally choosing to be the next face of the league. Like, you can see it. All the endorsements, all the sponsorships, everything that he's receiving. NBA wants Ja Morant to be the guy, even over Giannis, over Devin Booker, over Tatum, over all these guys. Right, exactly. So it's that on top of the fact those sponsorships, for example, Nike, Powerade, like all this shit that this guy could have,
Bro,
but instead he wants to be that kid that goes to get a gun and is so
that
happy that he
Powerade
just
deal
got his
was
first
so
gun
crazy.
that he's just showing
That
everybody.
Powerade deal was so crazy, bro.
100%.
Like, I'm like, you really threw that away for that? Like, you're about to lose your Nike deal because of this?
And bro, what's crazy is he also, because of his time away from the team, and then it affected his play a little bit. This after, bro, he didn't make any All NBA team. He lost 39 million in bonuses,
and most likely he
just
gets
off of
suspended
that.
without
This is why the
payoff
NBA
of this
wants
next
him to be
suspension.
because they know they're gonna have to pay him the absolute least.
Exactly. Yeah. So they already lost. He already lost his bonus money with the 39 million for his next extension. He's gonna lose Powerade. Might lose Nike. Might get suspended a whole year without pay. Bro, it's just like, what do you had the bag in your hands. How did you fumble it? How did you fuck it up?
CTE, man, it gets
Oh,
everybody.
Fuck.
I mean, that's the only real explanation because
I'm dead.
on another
Nigga said CTE. I'm crying.
Is it the only
because
explanation?
on another level too, it's like it's not like he's on some bum ass team like most of these fucking rookies get drafted to.
Team in the West,
like right, and the Grizzlies, like they have a whole bunch of talent. I mean, let's exclude Dylan Brooks. Let's just look at Ja Morant.
He definitely
Let's look at Ja
Dylan
Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr. Those three alone, that is literally a corner store
that's three top 50 players in the league.
Now it's a corner store, but it's a cornerstone for like the next 8 years of possibly winning 2 or 3 chips.
Jaren Jackson
and now
Jr. just won Defensive Player of the Year. Like,
yeah,
right.
100%.
But
and Desmond Bane just showed out this year and showed that he could be a good number 2 to Ja.
I feel like Desmond Bane's just tired of all this shit.
He should leave. Like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he just requests a trade this offseason. I would not be surprised.
Different. That man is
because you're not going to have Ja Morant for the majority of next year. Jaren Jackson is injury prone. Dylan Brooks ain't going to be there. Not that he matters. A whole bunch of other players got hurt that were important to the franchise. People left, whatever. It's literally going to be Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson until Jackson gets hurt, and then it's just Desmond Bane. At which point, now they're a lottery team. So
that's a fact.
But fuck, that's a mess. Fuck it. Moving on. Monty Williams got fired. Another messy franchise.
Right. Bro. Everyone's getting
every coach is getting fired. Monty Williams is getting fired.
Pay for that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
but Monty Williams, we all could see him getting fired coming if they didn't really achieve anything. But at the same time, they went to the finals. They've been to the conference finals the last 2 years. I don't think it was a righteous firing, but I'm glad he's out of that toxic ass hellhole. Because what is he supposed to do with this roster that he had this year, for example?
It's not a righteous firing, but it was the right move. Because if you weren't gonna fire him, you would have had to have moved off of DeAndre Ayton last year. You paying DeAndre Ayton is telling me that you want to keep him and try to salvage that. The only other way to do that is to get rid of Monty Williams.
But at the same time, it's like, why would you pick Monty Williams over DeAndre Ayton? DeAndre Ayton had one of the biggest shit shows this playoffs that I have really ever seen. And on top of that, he's a locker room cancer, as we hear all these fucking reports. On top of that, you traded everything else you had for Kevin Durant.
It's because the Suns literally absolutely refuse to use him. Like, it's kind of hard to be bought in and really locked into something if you're not important to said operation.
But whenever you're really the primary focus, you're having horrible shooting splits.
But that's because it's like you only call on me once every 2 weeks. Like, you want me to be that guy when you need me to be that guy. Like, fuck that, bro.
But even when he's not being called on, though, like, they're asking you to rebound and play defense. None of the two things that he's doing.
Yeah, he's not a great rebounder. He's a bad defender.
I mean, either way, like, if you want your number to be called more, you have to perform that one time every 2 weeks.
My thing is like, I'm just looking at, like, just from, like, typical centers and shit that I've seen. Yeah. It's typical for a center to act out when they're not getting the ball because they depend on everybody else to get them the ball. How many times you
Yeah.
heard Embiid crying about not getting the ball?
Well,
Right,
that's Joel Embiid though.
bro. But still, though, DeAndre Ayton, there was a point in time where he once wasn't Joel Embiid. Niggas gave him the ball and he
Yeah.
became Joel Embiid. That's what I'm saying. DeAndre Ayton was
Yeah.
what, the number one pick?
Yeah.
Like, for you to just not be given the number one pick the ball is type crazy. You feel me?
And
I
it's
get
also the
your
fact
team.
that-
I do get your team. You feel me? But it's like you really didn't even try to develop him.
No, I feel you. And especially because all the hype that was going into it before the draft, Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton were comparing themselves to a next Shaq.
Bro, I didn't even know who he
Before-
was until Thomas sent me the picture of this guy, and I'm just like, "Yo, who is this guy, bro?" Like he
Matt
looks
Brolick,
like,
man, on
bro,
steroids.
he's about to come into the league and destroy it, bro. Like,
before the draft, they were saying, and fuck before the draft. At the draft, you literally picked him over guys like Trey, guys like Luka. So it's just like, if you're gonna pick him over that, treat him like a number one pick and give him the reps, give him the opportunities. Once you saw that you guys could have a chance when they went 8-0 in the bubble before they had Monty, and they were like, oh, maybe we're finally
it's crazy
clicking.
because I
And they
dead
got
ass called
Monty.
that after that.
They got DeAndre Ayton, and then they were like, all right, let's now keep the ball rolling and be win now rather than develop the number one pick that we just got. And so then it just, from there on out, and given, yeah, they made a finals, they made conference finals and shit. But I mean, like, and then you did a terrible decision. In today's NBA now, you need two things. You need some star power, but you need a lot of depth. If you go and opt into just having a lot of star power with no depth, you're not going to work. And the Suns strictly said, we're going to give up all our depth and get that one star who is in the wrong side of 30, given he's still Kevin fucking Durant. But it's just, it was a bad move. And then you already had like an 87-year-old Chris Paul. And it just, it was a stupid decision.
I really just feel like it's really a motive thing. Because it's like, it wasn't just the fact that Denver was deeper than the Suns. They outworked the shit out of them. Like,
OD.
They literally just played harder than them. Like, the games that the Suns won, they played harder than Denver.
100%.
And my thing is, the people that kind of put the blame on Monty, though, it's like, what is he really supposed to do when
I don't have a blame
four
on
of your pussy ass players out of four of them, like
fuck.
one of them,
Started
Devin
wrong.
Booker, who I've criticized a lot, he was the one that showed up.
He was going
Kevin
crazy.
Kevin Durant didn't show up. I'm not even gonna give Kevin Durant a pass here. Like, he did horrible in my opinion. Like, yeah, he had a couple games where he really showed out,
I ain't gonna lie.
but when they really fucking needed him, he wasn't there.
He did normal ass Kevin Durant shit, but nothing extraordinary.
I gained a little bit more respect for Devin Booker after this postseason because he was wilding. I'm
So
not
do I.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
He was bugging.
He's in my top
Yeah,
10.
absolutely.
Definitely.
But like
But
it goes back to what V-Man said is like, Chris Paul as a leader, what are you fucking really leading? Because here's another failure on your resume.
Yeah, Chris
Like,
Paul's dead at this
this
point.
nigga-
There's
Every time the
he's
kitchen
just-
gets too hot, you get some minor ass
this
injury and
motherfucker
you're
will
fucking
lead
gone.
you all the way up until the point
Where they need him.
right, bro,
Yeah,
right.
they need him.
Literally all the way up until the point where it's supposed to happen, and then
Right.
it's just like, yeah, it's up to y'all now.
Like, bro,
Like, what, bro?
it's like climbing Mount Everest. He gets like 75% of the way there. He's like, all right, you guys got this, and then he just fucking jumps
Right,
off.
bro. Like,
Jumps off is crazy.
And yeah, I mean, and then Ayton didn't really show up either. So it's like, I don't know what Monty was supposed to do, because past those four players, what coaching decisions can he make? The rest of the team is fucking hot garbage. You're depending on Terrence
Landale.
Ross and TJ Warren.
Jock
And
Landale.
fucking Jock Landale. Like, I've never heard of that guy before this year.
I mean,
and the
he's
only reason we hear of
undrafted.
him is because of Ayton.
it's the premise.
He's
though. It's
undrafted
not-
from Ayton's draft. That's what's disrespectful.
It's not.
He was undrafted from the same draft Ayton came
He
out.
didn't get fired just solely based off of what happened this year, though. It's the track record leading up to it, losing or blowing a 2-0 lead in the finals, losing by 30 in a game 7 in your building, and coming back and losing by 20 in a game 7 in your building again. Like, yeah, bro, that just means that you're not getting your guys ready to play these big games. That's the red flag here, and that's why he got fired.
Yeah, I could see that.
So what team do you think he fits best?
He He's a good coach. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. He's
coach.
definitely a good coach, but
a lot of
he
coaches
needs
that
a
got
team.
fired this season were good coaches.
He needs a team that can motivate themselves.
Milwaukee.
Like whatever team you can think of that can really like has that natural dog in them that can get themselves ready to play these big games, he'll be a good coach.
Yeah, I could see that being Milwaukee.
You know who he reminds me of? Doc. He reminds me of Doc Rivers for sure. Definitely,
bro. Before you, man.
Dead ass, bro.
Before you got on this, and it was just me and Thomas in here. I was stressing my hate for Doc Rivers.
Bro, he reminds me of Doc Rivers.
We'll get that. We'll get to that. But to quickly cover Denver's side of things real fast, Denver dominates these guys. So honestly, I have a good comparison here. I think the Denver Nuggets completely healthy. Like if they can just get blessed with health over these next few years, like they did this year, I honestly see them very similar to the Spurs. Spurs dynasty.
That's
I mean, obviously they don't have the ring that they got early on in their franchise when David Robertson was there. Robinson, my apologies. But Matt's always there to correct my mistakes. That's why I love having Matt as a friend. But yeah, I mean, honestly, Denver healthy, they have a really good fucking team that seems to continuously get better in regards to depth.
Oh, so you're finally seeing what I was trying to tell you.
But I've always seen that though. I said it earlier in the year. I said the Nuggets, if they're completely healthy, yeah, they're probably number 1 seed. But we have to see how far that goes in the playoffs.
Why the hell was you arguing with me?
Because I didn't expect them to be healthy.
You
to this
fully
point.
adopted the Grizzlies for no reason,
bro. They had 1 year of not being healthy.
It was good TV. It was good TV. It was good ratings.
They had out of 5 years together, they had 1 year where they weren't healthy, and you're like, they're gonna be bad.
You literally forced them to become my Nuggets just for that to become a good thing. Like
you forced them to be your Grizzlies and his Nuggets.
Hey, let's not roast me yet. Don't worry, guys. I will be roasted later on in the episode. But yeah, I mean, the reason why I compare them to the Spurs is because obviously, Jokic and Tim Duncan, Jamal Murray, Tony Parker, Ginobili, Michael Porter. I think it's a good comparison because, like I said, I wasn't expecting Denver to be healthy because Murray was coming off of a very stressful injury. When he came back, it didn't look like he was going to be this again. But hey, he was. And then Michael Porter Jr., he has the back of an 80-year-old man. So,
but his shooting stroke is like. Yeah.
Aaron Gordon was randomly one of the best acquisitions that. In the
he's
past
a low-key great
5-10 years.
He can score because he's like his defensive play is really top tier.
He's a crackhead.
Aaron Gordon's like a top tier 4th option.
Top tier 4th option.
Maybe the best fourth option.
Who the fuck is the other 4 options?
DeAndre Ayton or Chris Paul, whoever you put forth.
Fuck that. As current states, yeah, he's better than DeAndre Ayton.
Well, we'll have to revisit that. That's actually a good.
All right, but I just want to throw out here, I'm not gonna lie. Given this might just be some recency bias, but this run from Jokic is like these past 2 series.
Yeah.
Nah, he's been a bug out,
he's
bro.
wild.
He's been going bananas. And low-key, like, the biggest thing everyone's saying that Embiid had over him, defense, Jokic is banging down low at pause, and he's playing defense right now and averaging
he's a big body.
Like a 30-point triple-double. And bro, Jokic, I already had great respect for him, and I already said that I feel like he's a top 2, top 3 player in the league probably. But he's gained a lot more respect already this offseason from me, 100%.
And my thing with Jokic is it reminds me of Giannis. After Giannis had won his MVPs already, and he just decided to put his head down and just fucking focus, and that's kind of what it's reminded me of. When Giannis won that ring, it was because he was ignoring the media. He already had accomplished what he accomplished individually. I don't know. I mean, I'm going for the Lakers here to go all the way, but if Denver sees the finals, I don't know. I don't know if anyone could beat the Nuggets in the final. I think this Lakers-Nuggets series might be for the whole thing.
Obviously, the Lakers fan in me says it's Lakers or nothing. But like, I generally don't really have a problem with any of the teams that are left.
Except for the Heat.
Like,
fuck the Heat.
Yeah, fuck the Heat. 'Cause I honestly don't understand how they made it this far. I understand how they made it this far, but I don't
Jimmy Butler
understand
is
how they
on
made it this
fucking
far.
crack,
Because
bro.
I know that if
Jimmy
there's one
Butler
thing
is
that
taking
everybody
the
on
cleanest
this
crack.
earth can agree on is that if Giannis didn't get hurt, that series is completely different.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
But
whatever
anyway,
happened with the Knicks is what happened with the Knicks. I can't, you feel me? There's no defending that. Like, whatever.
Julius Randle happens to the Knicks. Anyway,
yeah, Julius
let's
Randle
push on to the
fucking
next thing.
Tibbs. That fucking
Yeah,
guy.
so on to the next thing. The Warriors and the Lakers series. The Lakers handle the Warriors very overly swiftly.
Come on, man.
Some
It's
highlights
late.
from that series is it seems like Anthony Davis is fully back. We know what Anthony Davis does when he's fucking healthy. That's all everyone's been fucking praying for is just be healthy and just do what you got to do because he's an all-time great if he's healthy.
That's a fact.
Jordan Poole sucked. Game 6 Clay
Yo, chill out on
didn't
Game 6 Clay.
appear.
Game 6 Clay is a myth.
Yo, chill
Steph
out, bro.
was trying to do everything that he can, but it was too much. The
Yo,
Lakers
Steph
did
was
too
really
much.
trying to do everything he could. He deadass
Steph-
didn't want to lose, bro.
Steph
And it
was trying
pained me to
his
see him
damnedest, bro.
like that, bro. But I'm just like, it's the Lakers, baby.
Facts, because you were
It's
Steph
just
stan,
the
but
Lakers, baby. Like,
we needed the
Feel
Lakers
me?
to take that one out. I mean, that's exactly what I said would happen. I feel like I did say Lakers in 5, but I mean, like, still, it's what I figured. I knew going into the Chase Center in that Game 5, it would have been a little iffy. And so, Game 6 games, I'm cool with that.
it would have been
Give
5.
us a little rest
I
before
say
this
it would have been
series.
5 if we had home court, like from the jump.
Yeah, we didn't have home. Yeah. But it is what it is.
We're 5-0 at home.
Nothing crazy to say about the
Yeah,
series.
I
I
mean,
knew what would
Anthony
happen.
fucking Davis.
Yeah, get your flowers, big dog. He averaging like 4 blocks a game in the playoffs right now, getting like 2 steals, doing his thing offensively, getting his rebounds, not letting Kevon Looney do 20-20s every game like he was against the Grizzlies and shit. Or no, against the Sacramento and shit.
Kings.
Fuck them.
Say, I'll
Fuck
readjust
Kevon
what
Looney.
I said. Remember during the year, if I said, AD's healthy and shit, he would have won the MVP? Yeah, fuck the MVP. He's going to win Finals
MVP. He gonna win Finals MVP
Facts.
if they win it all. 100%.
I mean, because this is exactly what the
100%
Lakers
he's
needed.
gonna
I
win
mean,
Finals MVP.
with or without those
100%
trades,
MVP.
this is all the Lakers have ever fucking needed was Anthony Davis to be healthy and do exactly what he's doing now. Just
Anthony
being what
Davis
the
and
game
depth
calls
is a
for.
crazy combo, bro. Anthony Davis and depth is a deadly combo, and we got both this year at this point in time this year. So, I mean, it'll be a hard fight for anybody we go against. Real talk.
Is this it for Golden State?
This summer, there's going to be a lot of
I'm
changes.
not calling it that.
I'm not saying over, but I'm saying this core.
Draymond's going to come back.
I've heard a lot of talks. Jordan Poole's getting
Yeah, bro, because they should have never gave
I've
him
heard
that
a lot of-
contract in the
yeah.
first place.
And then, is Draymond going to get a contract? I don't know. Clay probably getting a contract. But is it going to be what Clay wants? I don't know.
Like,
The only one I know that's going to be on that team next year is Curry and, like, Wiggins. That's it. Like
Draymond's coming.
and shit,
So, like-
Wiggins is a if too, just because it's not Curry. So, I don't know.
But I'm 100% moving Jordan Poole. 100%.
Get him the fuck out of here.
100%.
It ain't a pool. The
so-
pool was empty this year. The pool was closed.
The pool was empty and dirty.
That shit was Central Park Pool, nigga.
Oh.
that shit
floating
was
around in
quacking
that pool.
bush, nigga. That shit was done.
No, hear me out. The same argument that you make for Ayton getting called on once every 2 weeks is kind of the argument that I make for Poole. His role varied all year, varied all last year. So I don't want to buy too much into this year because we know what Jordan Poole is at his best. I'm going to say something crazy, and it's probably not going to happen, but if I'm the Golden State Warriors, I'm moving on from Draymond and Clay. I'm getting Kuminga into a starting role and then also like investing that money that I got rid of Clay and Dre into an actual stretch big because I think that's what they like really need,
do
like
need
more
a
than
stretch
what
big.
Draymond is.
But a stretch big
get-
that can defend, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, and then get a
hard to
center that
find,
can
though.
go, actually toe to toe with Looney, like the Warriors have done before. I would start Poole at shooting guard. Give him a short leash though.
Bro, I'm good on
But
Poole.
he needs one role
Bro,
because he
there's no
varied
such
between
thing
roles
as a
all year
short
long.
leash. If
Poole
you take
is
Clay off
at
the
his
team, there's no
best.
way you can give him a short leash.
Yeah.
I mean, they would have
Somebody
like, Moody
else besides Steph has to shoot the ball. And
Poole
apparently,
and
but
Wiggins.
they already paid Jordan Poole to do it, so you can't give him a short leash now.
Yeah.
But I think
And
that
given
Poole
Poole-
contract was definitely premature as fuck.
It was.
Oh, so
'Cause the
this-
way I
this
look
one
at it
thing
is
I
like
wanted to
this.
state.
Oh, go ahead, Matt.
The league needs to, or these teams need to chill the fuck out with one good year from a player means they get a max now. When the fuck did that start?
Well, because
like,
I mean, at the
that
same
needs to
time though,
calm
look
the
at
fuck down.
look at
'Cause
what Poole is at his best. I would pay that money for that.
Poole at his best we've only seen is a streaky
Hell no, I'm not
22
paying
point
that
per
for
game
that.
score.
You
Yeah,
know why?
I'm not
Because this is
paying
the
30 mil
this
for that
this
yet.
is exactly
Yet.
why I look at the way I look at it. This is because Golden State paid him that much to be the number 3, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What did the Knicks pay Jalen Brunson for?
To be the number,
be the number
fucking
one.
Who's better, Jalen Brunson or
Maybe
Jordan
number 2.
Poole?
They paid him at the time to be number 2. I
Jalen
guess.
Brunson, baby.
All right then. So why is
Oh,
Jordan
exactly.
Poole making more money than Jalen Brunson?
Because that's what the Warriors gave him.
Exactly. He's overpaid, bro. He's wildly overpaid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, it's like you paid him. Honestly, I would just try to make the best of this
Like,
before
yeah,
cutting
I
ties.
feel
Like
you.
I
honestly,
feel you,
they
but-
gotta move on from Clay and Draymond at this point. Like at this point, I would just move. Like, what else are you gonna win with those
I
two
don't.
unless you can't because if you keep those two and trade Poole, you still don't have money to pay a bench, and you need a bench if you're gonna keep Clay and Draymond.
This is
in
the
my
thing.
opinion.
The Warriors just need to get realistic.
Yeah.
You're not who you used to be outside of Steph Curry because he's just, he's Steph Curry. You're not what you
Yeah.
used to be. Y'all need to stop demanding these big ass contracts. What you need to do is you need to rework your contract and rework your role on the team. I'll bring Clay off the bench 100%.
At this point,
at this
after this
point,
playoff,
100% I would bring Clay off the bench.
Because there's no reason he should be shooting 19 shots and only making 3.
Right, bro.
And
Right.
a
All right,
go-home
boom. I'll bring
game.
you off the bench. If you're on, I'll keep you on the floor. Starter minutes, whatever. If you're not, back to the bench, next man up.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree with that. That's a good.
and
that's
I
definitely
100% agree with the one thing Tom said. Draymond cut ties just because at this point it's just like, yeah, he's still that voice, he's still that leader, but it's just like his defensive impact is still there, but it's not what it used to be, and he does be getting injured a lot. Bring Kuminga in and get him a larger role.
Draymond's going to come back.
He deserves a larger role. He's a
That's
good
why-
fucking
Draymond's
player.
100%.
That's why I
gonna come back.
said, like, you get Kuminga and you get like a stretch big. You pay decent money for some kind of stretch big to play next to him in case Kuminga isn't really what he should be as a starter.
Which I
And
think
you have
he
a-
could be.
Yeah, same. Like he's monstrous.
He needs that opportunity, and given the Warriors were a terrible draft spot for him, just because the Warriors are winning now, and it showed by them winning. And it's just you're not going to get a lot of reps as a new kid, like Kuminga and Moody have not gotten. So I think it was just a bad draft spot for
I'm not
him.
going to lie. The Warriors,
that-
they made one fatal mistake this year that I think everybody kind of just overlooked. But to me, if they would have did it correctly, I'm not saying they could have repeated, but they definitely would have did a lot better than they did. They shouldn't have traded James Wiseman.
That's fair.
Because I'm not going to lie to you.
I-
I don't know if y'all remember this, but I vividly remember this. When we played the Warriors the first time this season, he was busting AD's ass, bro. He was.
yeah,
100%, bro.
yeah, he did.
And
We talked about
obviously,
it on here.
you could chalk that up. Oh, AD wasn't motivated, whatever. Obviously, we know AD's a whole different
It
character
was those
of
first
player
10
than James
games.
Wiseman. But
Yeah.
still, he still offers you a little bit more resistance inside than
Yeah,
letting
yeah.
Anthony Davis just run wild on you. Kevon Looney did the best he could. He was grabbing 20 rebounds just along with AD, but it just wasn't enough. You
Right.
need enough.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need somebody
Need that
else
offense,
down
yeah.
there, bro. Like,
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. And given I'm still on the thing of, Wiseman isn't a good defender, but Wiseman is a very, very good offensive player, in my opinion. He just needed a chance. And shit, when he went to the fucking the Pistons, he
bro, he's gonna be all right
showed
for
great
Detroit.
flashes.
Detroit
He
got
showed-
like
Bro,
a
I
group
picked
of
that up in
talent.
fantasy, bro. He helped the hell out of me. He helped the hell out
Like,
of me
and
in
low-key,
fantasy, bro. I'm like, oh, yeah.
I could see them moving Wiseman to a 4 in position, and him and Durant I think they would be a great 4 or 5. And then Isaiah
Bagley
Stewart
off the
off the
bench.
bench. Bagley off the bench. Yeah, that would.
He
bro,
started playing
that
well
big
too
man's-
towards the end of the
Yeah,
year because I had them
that
both.
big man rotation is deadly, bro. Bagley
And it was
and
like,
Stewart off the bench.
whichever
with
one took
Durant
the
and
night off.
Wiseman in the starting lineup.
I say
Crazy.
whichever one took the night off, the other one always went off. So it was just like I had
And
somebody that
the
was
beautiful part about that is Cade and Ivy. There's some fast fucking players. So
Ivy's
the fact that
probably
you
the
have athletic
fastest
bigs,
in the league.
yeah, and then you have athletic bigs next to those two. That's kind of the vision I was seeing. Well, Wiseman wasn't there yet, but that was kind of the vision I was seeing. You got two very fast guards that are just going to be dishing the ball to
still
everybody
super
else.
young and just need to learn the league.
I like the Pistons.
I see them. Yeah, and like I said in the beginning of the season, I think in 3-4 years they're going to be one of the best teams in the East. It just they're to me it's like the Thunder.
So, yeah.
But they're just like
that
a
so he
Thunder.
can make a short when it happens.
right?
They're a Thunder projection. You know, need a couple years for the young guys to get good, and then once they're really good, the team's going to be really fucking good. And I think the Thunder are going to be pretty fucking good next year.
Speaking of the Thunder, so moving on to the Celtics and 76ers series, that has nothing
What
to
the hell the Thunder got to do with that?
So this frustrating ass series, 76ers, they go up 3-2. They make the Celtics look horrible. But Celtics, you know, they win the last 2 games. Yeah.
Bro.
Philly blows it again.
This was the weirdest series I've ever seen from a superstar player. And I'm talking about Jason Tatum in that
Jason
point.
Tatum.
There was a 2-game stretch where he was like 0-20 in the first quarter.
He's just janky. Like,
but it's just like, but given at the end of the game, he'll give you what you guys need. But it's just the first half is really fucking weird. I don't know. But I mean,
to be
Jaylen
fair,
Brown had a good series.
He's the polar opposite to a lot of players that I've seen in the NBA. Like,
some will start off good
and they completely die.
Yeah.
Like CJ McCollum, he's one of those guys.
Yeah.
Like, he'll give you 30 in the first half, and then give you 3 in the second half, and his team would ultimately lose because of that. And I'm just like, bro, like, and it's the classic, like, it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. Like, that's actually real. Yeah. Like, the impact in the second half is way better than the impact in the first half, unless you completely put them to bed in the first half. And how many games you see that are really decided in the first half.
And this is like another testament to Doc Rivers being so fucking horrible, because in game fucking 6 especially, you know, the Jason Tatum is like 0 for 11 with 1 point through the first fucking half, and yet you're losing going into the second half. I'm
wilding on my team, bro. I'm wilding on my team, bro. There's no way,
why is Marcus Smart carrying this offense? Like, the 76ers have been great at guarding guards all fucking year, but when they needed it most, they couldn't guard guards while Tatum was just dying on the court.
Bro, I don't care,
and it cost them the whole thing.
I don't care what size I am, bro. I'm going to that locker room and I'm holding Joel Embiid to his locker like this. Like, boy, if you don't get out there and fucking go, if all of you motherfuckers don't get out, this man got 2. He has 1 point. At halftime, he had 1 point. He had 3 at the end of the third quarter. If y'all don't get out there and blow these motherfuckers out, bro.
Right. Because Harden gave what we thought he would give. I mean, the 40-point games, the couple 40-point games that he had was just extra. We knew he was either going to struggle or he was going to be a good passing point guard. Those 40-point games that won you a couple, like, how do you not win this fucking series?
To me, bro, like, all this series came down to fuck the first 6 games. It came down to a 1-game series. That game 7.
And this is the thing about James Harden.
And for you to put up, for Joel Embiid to put up 15 points and shoot terribly, and for James Harden to put up 9 points and shoot terribly, it's just like, what are we doing, guys? Like, what was
done.
that? That was ridiculous.
I don't want to say I'm done with Embiid, but I'm pretty much like this was such a fast track to just being done with Embiid. Like, he won the MVP, proud of him, he deserved it,
Proud
whatever,
of him.
and then all of a sudden just, like, it's like that's all he cared about. And what are you doing?
But that's a lot of, right when he won the MVP, too, a lot of analysts were like, well, is that all he cared about, or
Bro,
is he going
it
to
is,
show
Like, he
that
looked
deserved
relieved,
it?
like his job was
It
done.
is,
Like,
bro.
that's how he
'Cause
looked.
That's how it was.
Yeah. He did what he came out to do, win an MVP,
Like,
and then he didn't give a fuck after.
they tried very hard to sell that it's about the postseason shit, but like everybody knew that was literally just smoke and mirrors, bro.
You gotta show
Everybody
us it's
know
about
how
the
bad
postseason.
he wanted that shit, bro. Like, he damn near cried last year when he didn't win.
This dude
Like,
lost fucking sleep.
come
when he-
on, bro.
Like, not get. Yeah. But Boston moves on.
Like, that guy
You know, I
literally
think-
went as far as to say, "Oh, they just hate me." What? Like, bro, what, bro?
Now they do. Now they do.
Now I hate
Yeah,
you. Now
absolutely.
we hate you. Now we hate you.
It's just such a horrible combination of players that just don't perform with the bright lights on, like Harden,
And
Embiid, and Doc
low-key,
Rivers.
Bro, what? So let's just
But
take
this
a
is the
step
thing
back real
about
quick.
James Harden to me, and it's like,
No, like,
to
and
me,
that's
it's
I can't really blame
unfair
James
with
Harden
James
this time, though.
because it's like, I know what everybody wants out of James Harden. It's so hard to get that out of your head, what he was doing to people. I get that. But at the end of the day, what he was doing was never sustainable, and it was never possible for the playoffs anyway.
Yeah,
Playoff basketball is a completely different game than regular season basketball.
100%.
So to
As
think
we
that
can see
he's
by
going
some
to
of
do
these
that to
scores.
people in the postseason was just completely ludicrous to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Houston's about to
fact
be
that
lit
he
with them,
still
though, I'll
gave
tell
you
that
those
much.
two performances that he did give you, and you found a way to lose this, one of them without Embiid on the court.
And bro, one other
Yeah.
Like,
thing for
come
me is
on,
just,
bro.
like,
You don't lose that series, bro. You don't.
this summer
Yeah.
they're already talking about Harden might be leaving, might be going back to Houston.
He goes
Doc
back to Houston and they
fired.
get Wemby. I ain't gonna lie, that's gonna be crazy.
Oh fuck! And then it's just like, what do you have left? You have Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, and Maxey. It's just like, what is this team gonna do?
Man, you better
once-
trade the
if
shit out
Harden
of
leaves?
Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris over me. Speaking of, Jimmy fucking Butler destroys the Knicks. All right, moving on. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so Jimmy Butler destroys the Knicks.
Tibbs destroyed the Knicks. Julius Randle destroyed the Knicks.
yeah.
The Knicks destroyed the Knicks.
That was kind of my biggest take here. I mean, the Knicks were obviously ran down. You could see it, and then you put them against a team like the Miami Heat that just runs teams down even further. It was kind of writing on the wall that not a lot of people saw because the Heat were an 8th seed.
Right.
But yeah, Jimmy Butler,
All this
guy again.
all this did, literally, just for the Knicks side of this, all this did was make me gain massive respect for Jalen Brunson. Like, that dude's he's an
100%.
actual basketball player, bro. That dude, he's a hooper
baller,
for
bro.
real.
100%. Yeah.
What y'all
He's
did giving him that
dog.
money was 100% justifiable.
100%.
And Dallas now looks like complete assholes for not giving him that contract.
100%.
Yeah, and we got their draft picks.
You only got one more. You only got one more.
Yeah, we
I'm
traded
crying,
Kristaps
bro.
Porzingis to them, and we got their draft picks. We got Brunson. We got not in that trade. but,
Dallas
we've
just
been fucking
continually
Dallas
just
over for
getting
the past
fucked by the
couple
Knicks. Like,
But low key, you might not even get theirs this year because it's top 10 protected and they have the 10th odds. So
Yeah,
I
we'll
was
be down to 11,
about
we'll be
to
good.
say they'll fall out.
that means somebody.
The
11
only
to 14
reason
is
why I
jump
know
to the
they're
top
gonna
3.
fall out is because the league already accused them of tanking, so there's no way they're gonna give them a big pick. No way they're
That
getting
means
a good
somebody
pick.
11 to 14 has to jump to a top 3 spot. That's
Fuck
tough.
it.
Well,
That's
who's 11 to 13 right now?
Imagine the Bulls jumping.
Let's see.
Yo,
Jumping
that would
so lucky.
revive Chicago. I could see it. I could see
Imagine
NBA
them
doing that.
jumping to 1.
Honestly, I
like
could see
14
any
to
of them
1.
doing it.
I mean, you have like a 0.8% chance to jump up at that point. It's just like, that's tough.
Yeah,
It's
but
tough.
I mean, like, yeah, New Orleans not jumping up. Fuck that. But Toronto and
New Orleans
OKC,
got Wemby.
Toronto and
Yo, New
OKC, I
Orleans
can see
getting
that,
that-
bro.
Toronto, yeah.
Because Toronto needs
I
it
could-
bad, real bad, like absolutely bad, bro. Like, they just
But-
need somebody that's gonna help, bro. Like, they need anybody that's gonna help them.
That shit. For the Knicks at this point, though, it's just like Julius Randle to me, and given he's an ex-Laker, and I love all ex-Lakers. I got a special place in my heart.
Me too, bro. Which is why I'm very disappointed.
He played like ex-Laker
season,
Ronnie Turioff.
At the beginning of the season, Kobe loved Turioff. You shut your mouth. At the beginning of the season, I called, and given I thought it was more or less going to be a regular season thing, but I called that he's just, when the lights shine bright, he fumbles the fucking bag. And this man has had 3 playoff series now with the Knicks. One against the Hawks, then you got Cavs, and then you got Heat this year. And this man has averaged, I think, like 16 points in those series.
Not even.
And shot 14. like 38% from the field, 20 from 3. And that's over 3 series in 2 different seasons. Like, pack it the fuck up, my guy. Get your shit together.
Yeah, bro.
He's done.
Yeah, and I mean, when it comes to the Knicks, I love this series. I mean, I don't love it because we lost. I thought it was a very winnable series. But, I mean, in my opinion, it kind of shows the Knicks' flaws that are going to prevent them from making the championship. Because now you just needed a team that can make the playoffs. The Knicks got a team that can make the playoffs. It looks like it could be repeated success.
Because I'm telling you.
But now you get to see what's preventing you from the championship. And it's like V-Man said, Tibbs. And like Matt said, Julius Randle.
I
still think this could be savage with Julius Randle. But, yeah, because Julius Randle was hurt this playoffs. I can give him that excuse. He sprained his ankle really bad in the last couple weeks of the season, and he hurt it a couple times in the playoffs, as you guys saw. Tibbs ran down the Knicks. It was like I complained about when we were winning. Like, he was playing players 40 minutes a game, like in the start of the season.
Jalen Brunson got 3 minutes of rest in that last game.
Yeah. And he was hurt on and off too with general fucking soreness.
This is my thing, and this is how I know that the Knicks lost because of Tibbs.
Fuck the general soreness. We talked about that in the last episode.
Yeah, and it's like, this is how I know that fucking Tibbs ran down the Knicks, and this is why I knew the Knicks were going to lose. Because the Knicks actually got out physicaled by the Heat. Now, you would say, that's not really a problem because, the Heat are a very physical team. Yeah. But the thing that I do know about the Knicks this season is that they were very physical this year. They were the best rebounding team in basketball this year. Like,
even on offense, they depended on isolation way more than they depended on team basketball.
They're very physical. Right. So to just watch them just get overpowered and overmatched like that, especially because, again, we got to remember this. This is a shorthanded Heat team. They're still missing Tyler Hero. Yeah. We can't act like that just doesn't matter. Like, that 100% matters, bro, and it's going to matter against Boston. We'll talk about that in a minute. But, 100%. Like, you just got out-physicaled by them. They literally just wore you down. But they didn't wear you down. You were already wore down.
Tibbs wore you down.
If you had a coach that actually knew how to manage these players, this team would be very, very dangerous.
Yeah, and that was the thing, and that's why I was losing my fucking mind when we were just sitting Cam Reddish when these fucking players needed the rest. Because, like, we go into it now, and this part has nothing to do with Cam Reddish, but Josh Hart, up until this series, he went from being the Knicks' fucking savior and hero to zero. Fucking Jalen Brunson was the only one that translated. Randall sucked. I mean, Barrett, he did better for whatever it's worth. But that's the only player that Tibbs decided to rest in crunch time was fucking RJ Barrett because he couldn't really hack it in the regular season. But on top of that, Mitchell Robinson was damn near ineffective. Hartenstein was damn near ineffective by the end. Quickly was non-existent whatsoever. Quickly wasn't even a fucking factor in this playoffs, which sucks because Quickly is a dog. He's an absolute dog.
Quickly and Grimes, to me, could be great players if you gave them both the reps. And Tibbs is so weird with both of those players.
Bro, the three players
play that 30 minutes one night and then the next 30 minutes the next night and then not play the other.
The 3 players I love on the Knicks are deadass Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, and Obi Toppin. And it's just like mad, especially in the case of Obi Toppin. I have no idea why this guy is not seeing the fucking court, bro.
Bro, he turned into a sharpshooter this year out of fucking nowhere.
Bro, this guy should absolutely be playing basketball.
Yeah.
And honestly, I understand like Tibbs is he's earned his spot as the Knicks coach, but with all these fucking free agent coaches like Coach Bud, Monty, Nick Nurse, I honestly, if I'm the Knicks, I have to hit up one of those guys. Have to. Honestly, especially Nick Nurse. I feel like what Nick Nurse was able to do with Toronto, especially when they were shorthanded, I honestly feel like he would do fucking wonders with the Knicks. Because the thing with the Knicks that I can compare to the Raptors is that they have like a nasty amount of depth for the first time ever, and that's the team that like Nick Nurse is good with. He's good with fucking managing his depth. And honestly, for a player like I get Fournier is Fournier, but he would thrive in this current NBA this year, and he didn't see the fucking floor. And that alone is just being mishandled.
He's gotten older, and his touch isn't as good as it was 2 years ago. Fournier, he's gotten older. His speed slowed down. He can't get around picks as good as he used to.
Bro, he let me down so hard in fantasy, bro. Like, I picked him up a couple times. He just absolutely did nothing. I'm just like...
I fucking drafted him. I drafted him.
I was just like, well, damn, bro. Like, and then that one time I dropped him and he randomly had a good game, and I'm just like, damn.
So, all right, a couple of quick hits. Yeah, we were on the same wavelength, Matt. Okay, but a couple quick hits. Miami and Boston. I think we're all expecting Boston to pull out of that pretty... Yeah.
Like I said,
I'm not saying a sweep, but I think in 5.
Tyler Hero has.
I'm saying Boston in 6. Tyler Hero matters. I'm saying Boston in 6 just because it's fucking Miami and whatever.
And I'm, definitely expecting Jason Tatum to have his game still.
He fucking better.
No, I'm not talking about good games. I'm talking about those.
His weird games copy. Yeah.
I'm seeing this rivalry, like this rivalry between Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I see it.
I love it. It's real every year too.
Like for example, like when Tatum was doing really good in Game 7, when Tatum was popping off for 51 points, he's screaming, "This is my shit! This is my shit!" And then in the media, he's like, "I absolutely love putting on a Celtics jersey." When in the media, Jaylen Brown is complaining. Honestly, what I would do after this year is I would honestly trade Jaylen Brown and build this team around Tatum. That's just personally me. Because
I can't justify
Brown has been way more consistent, bro.
You can't justify trading any of them right this second. You need a real controversy to happen.
I mean, I would trade Jaylen Brown just because of the trade market and how much they would possibly get for that and how much they already currently have. Set like a disgusting amount of draft picks that you could flip for something else.
You think that
that's not what they need right now. What
Brad
they need
Stevens
is they're in a
absolutely
winning
has the ball.
Because I would expect that from Danny Ainge 100%.
Fuck that.
But Brad Stevens?
Bro, they don't need a bunch of draft picks right now. They need 2 superstar players with depth. They have 2 superstar players with depth. Why trade one of your superstar players?
Do you know what these two are about to come? Like what these two at max can, like their max contracts right now is going to be Tatum's going to get $60 million and Jaylen Brown's going to get $50. I don't know what depth you're putting around those two.
They already have the depth. They just have to keep.
Now they do. I'm saying, but when you have to pay these guys in 1 to 2 years.
As long as you got your bird rights of these players, you can pay them all. Given there's a luxury tax, but the owner's just going to have to nut up and fucking
why are you going to keep paying them if you're not winning? That's what I'm saying. If the Celtics don't actually come away with this chip, that actually might be a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're going to still just make it to finals every year.
Right, because I don't see it really being damaging to any other 3 teams that are left. Any other,
but I mean, if we're gonna
lose this chip and be like, all right, well, we'll just refigure something out, come back, boom,
boom.
But I'm not saying Boston can't refigure it out, but it's just like, all right, bro, we're kind of on the clock now. Because again, like we just said, they're gonna have to pay those 2, which means you're gonna have to figure out everybody else's. Some of your key role players, like Al Horford, are getting older, and then they're not going to be able to help you pretty soon. Like.
And I get making the finals 2 years in a row, but like if you lose both of those finals, it's like this year for the Celtics, they have 1 goal. I'm not saying blow it up. I'm saying retool. Like that's why I said trade Brown for a whole shitload of things, get the right players around Tatum, and keep going. But like I don't know. Like, the only thing they have left to accomplish is winning the finals. So if they lose 2 years in a row, yeah, that's absolutely a failure.
The only scary thing for me in that scenario is, let's say you do that. You get a player like, I mean, shit, I don't even know how this scenario would work. Let's say you just
John
get a player
Collins,
who's let's say you get a player who's a little bit subpar of Jaylen Brown, and then you get a bunch of role players and shit to fill out that bench once Al Horford gets older, even though he looks like a fucking Iron Man, and just you just get more role players and shit. When you get to the playoffs, what happens when Jason Tatum has these odd games where he just ain't scoring? You need that Jaylen Brown type player,
honestly,
to go out and give you the 30 that he's been giving you.
I would trade Jaylen
That's just
Brown
my take on it. Where like you need that second guy that's really.
Thomas, if you're reading my mind, this is crazy.
Trust.
I'm interested to hear what you're gonna say.
And this is a thought that I had. I would trade Jaylen Brown to the Atlanta Hawks for both DeJounte and John Collins, and probably some extra shit.
DeJounte Murray and Marcus Smart is a crazy 1-2 defensive punch. That's one of the best defensive front backcourts I've ever seen.
I could see that,
but
that's the thing, though.
Less shooting.
I don't think that
to say the least.
The Celtics isn't going to have a defensive problem no matter what.
No, they're always.
They have too much defense.
Jason Tatum's a great defender.
They had Al
Robert
Horford
Williams
starting at center for so fucking long, and they were just the top defensive fucking team.
And then they still got Robert Williams, who in Game 7 they started with Al Horford, and it worked beautifully against Embiid.
Yeah,
I mean,
insane.
It's an interesting trade idea.
I'd trade him for fucking Dame.
I'm sorry. Like, this will be a conversation for some kind of episode in the off season, I'm sure. But I'm over that guy.
I'd 100% trade him for Dame. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Just
think about Dame and
no.
Jason Tatum on a court together. Like Dame actually with another player that can do something. Like if we give Dame a co-star this season, the Trailblazers are something. Like.
I don't understand how the Trailblazers were this bad to even begin with. They had a fucking fire-ass team.
They had a lot of injuries. They
definitely did have a lot of injuries.
I don't hate that trade because I could see the Blazers taking back Jaylen Brown and maybe like one other thing because you could still say Dame is.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, you give them that and something else, and you'll get Dame back in fucking picks.
The only thing about that though is I don't know. Jalen Brunson probably would not be.
I don't
really
think the Blazers are giving up any of their picks. I don't think the Blazers are giving up picks for that.
Yeah, my bad, Jaylen Brown. I said Brunson. Fuck.
My only thing about this is because with the weird spot that Portland is in, that well, not the weird spot, but all the weird shit that's been going on in Portland with Dame and his mixed fucking signals of not wanting to build with young guys. Jaylen Brown is younger than Dame, and he's not like too far off in talent than Dame because he's better on the defensive end. I think
Jaylen Brown would probably be the best thing that you could get back for Dame. Jaylen Brown is
that's what I'm saying. You get Jaylen Brown back and another player, and it's like, all right, now we got two guys that can work with our young guys. By the time our young guys get a little bit older, Jaylen Brown will not be too old.
And then on Boston's end, you get Dame and someone like Jeremy Grant. Like that,
Right.
that would probably like be solid.
Right.
Yeah.
They wouldn't get Jeremy Grant for that. Dame is a better player. They wouldn't get Jeremy Grant back for that.
Yeah, but Jaylen Brown is, in my opinion, I'd value him.
I'm about to say, but you would definitely value Jaylen Brown more because of his
And
talent
also that
and his
money
age.
would work. Jeremy Grant, that money would not work because Dame's already making more than Jaylen Brown.
It's the NBA, Matt.
Jeremy Grant.
They
is
always
also
make the money
making
work.
20 mil. Yeah, but that's like 70 mil going for 30 mil. Dame's making 50 mil and Jeremy Grant's making 20 mil.
Listen, the Warriors have like what, fucking 4 or 5 max contracts right now.
They have
The Warriors just said fuck catch.
Steph
bro.
Poole,
I thought you were talking. I
Steph
thought you said
Poole,
the Celtics.
Wiggins,
I
and
thought you said
Draymond.
Celtics. I thought you said the Celtics.
Yeah. But I mean the Celtics too, didn't they? Don't they have fucking Horford on something expensive and also Marcus Smart?
Yes.
They have them
Along
on
with Brown and
maxes. They have them on expensive contracts, not maxes.
But
at all.
to wrap this up, my good old Laker fans, Lakers in Denver. I think
Lakers
we can all agree. Yeah, Lakers in 6.
I'm about to say I'm not about to come on here and disrespect Denver like I've disrespected anybody else. I'm not copping out at no point in time. We're still gonna fuck them up. So don't get that wrong. But this is 100% going to be a much better series than the last two were.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
But at the same time, I feel like Anthony Davis, if he locks down fucking Jokic this series,
that's saying
bro,
something.
there's not.
That's
the thing about Jokic,
Anthony
bro.
Davis might enter the conversation back into being the best player in the NBA, like we called him when he won the finals for the Lakers.
This is the thing about
3 years
Jokic,
ago.
though, bro. It's just like there's no real locking him down, bro. Because like he shows me that he can win consistently with
but the
scoring
Lakers
13 points,
dominate
bro.
the passing lanes, though. That like the Lakers, they play good defense in
defense is
regards to
phenomenal.
clogging up the fuck out
Yeah,
of the
but
pass
that's
lanes.
the thing, though. At that point, it's not just AD locking him down. Then,
Well, yeah, but
You
like
need
if you have AD
Vanderbilt,
locking
you
him down,
need-
scoring and making him pass,
Jokic
then
is
the rest of
literally
the
the
Lakers are
only
intercepting
other-
those passes.
Jokic is the only other player that I can think of that entered the realm of that only Steph has been in the case of it literally takes an entire team to guard him.
Yeah.
They
That's
do
fair.
it in two different ways. Obviously, Steph does it coming off of screens, and it takes everybody, to navigate the defense and so on and so forth. But in Jokic's case, like you just said, everybody else has to be locked in on their guy. Because if they're not,
Yeah.
the second they're not, it's going to them, and they're all skilled enough to score wherever Jokic passes them the ball.
And I think that's what this series comes down to is the other guys in Denver. The guys that aren't named Jokic.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I know the flaw in them.
Yeah.
Because they really can't get going if Jamal Murray doesn't.
Yeah. Because once he gets going, it disrupts everybody.
Yeah. So our key factor is going to be locking down
point.
Jamal Murray more than what's it called? Because it's like the game that Jokic absolutely went off on Phoenix, they lost. Why? Because Jamal Murray did nothing. He did absolutely nothing.
And I think
low-key,
who's your guys'
do?
shooting guard?
Austin Reeves.
I don't know. Do you think
Austin
Reeves
Reeves
or
is a
D'Angelo
dog
Russell
on the defensive
can?
end.
Okay.
Austin Reeves can. D'Lo can't. D'Lo cannot.
Bro,
guard,
So that's the thing.
Vando will be
Reeves
guarding him.
Vando,
Vando
I
on
feel,
him.
will switch a lot between Murray and Porter Jr. Because Vando was guarding Curry and Clay a lot. So Vando could guard Murray a lot.
I'd definitely put Vando on him.
MPJ
Or fucking Schroeder will bother him. Yeah. Just throw Dennis Schroeder on him.
Austin Reeves, I feel like Austin Reeves could do the job decently.
Austin Reeves isn't a slouch.
Vando's probably going to get put on him. He's a great defender, a good defender, a solid defender.
Yeah. I like how you just came all the way down.
Good, great, solid.
No, he's an above average defender for what he is in the league right now, 100%. But yeah, Lakers in 6, baby.
Okay. Yeah, I got Lakers in 6 as well. Like I said, if Anthony Davis can lock down Jokic, I think he solidly re-enters this conversation. And I don't think he moves away from this conversation unless he has like an injury that like takes a whole year from him type shit. Because we know what we're getting with Anthony Davis. We're getting a guy that's made of glass, but when he's on the court, he's fucking phenomenal.
You know what I think though?
People forgot what he was before these injuries, and people need to fucking put some respect on his name.
I think Bron really wants to go out there and tweak right now, simply because of the fact that the NBA introduced new accolades and he doesn't have one yet. So he needs a Western Conference, especially now that Steph has one and he doesn't have one. He 100% needs a conference finals.
Yeah, he
And the
needs
thing with
that Magic
LeBron
Johnson Western Conference MVP.
bro.
If the Lakers go all the way, like LeBron is gonna be undoubtedly the GOAT. Like
Yeah,
it's not
bro.
even gonna be a question
Yeah, bro.
anymore.
This is an important year for LeBron.
If the Lakers,
This is
if the
100%.
Lakers win this year, LeBron is the GOAT.
This is
It's
literally
just-
Bron's
Yeah, I will
GOAT
come on this
claim, bro.
podcast and say he's the fucking GOAT. I
This
will
is
do
his
it.
GOAT claim. Like this is it. This is
you
the
know what's
moment you've been waiting
crazy
for
to
your
me?
entire life. Like this is it.
You know what's
Yeah.
wildly disrespectful to me, or for me, is I'll say LeBron's the GOAT. I'll move Kobe to 2, and I'll just move Jordan all the way to 3. Because Jordan was my number 1.
I'm not even
then
gonna lie.
LeBron,
To you.
then
He's
Kobe.
dead ass already third for me.
I'm throwing
So
Jordan all the way down to 3. Fuck that.
My GOAT.
I've just been waiting to.
My GOAT debate would literally just come down to Kobe and Jordan because that's what it's down, or fucking Kobe and LeBron because that's what it's down to now for me.
I just, like I said, the NBA robbed Kobe of a lot, so I feel like he should be the GOAT.
Yeah.
But yeah, Either
Yeah,
way,
I want to say that's something for another day.
I mean,
That's 100% something for another day.
thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. We're gonna end this. Hold on, Matt. Hold on, Matt. I know. Like, share, subscribe. You guys can close this with the roast of me because I've made some serious blunders. I made some blunders this year. I said the Heat wouldn't fucking make the playoffs. They ended up dethroning the Bucks, who I said would win the whole thing. They beat the Knicks, my favorite team. The Celtics are in the conference finals. The fucking Nuggets are in the conference finals. It's been a shitty postseason for me, so you guys can roast me.
Be a playoff team. My man has made the most blunders in NBA predictions I've ever seen within a 1 year span.
It was a tough year.
This man just be going off the walls with his predictions.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, it was a tough one.
Fuck out when it comes to next year. When it comes to next year, that
was his season. That was his season right there.
Yeah,
one motion.
That bottle flip was his season.
It's over. All right, Matt, take us away.
The bottle is just like the promises that he made, and what's inside the bottle is what was actually in there. Nothing.
Matt, just act like you made it the next time. Fuck it. The camera doesn't see it. Yeah! All right, have a good night, everybody. Thank you for watching.